Did you know Richard Branson faced countless failures before achieving success? This is the untold story of Richard Branson and how failures built his fortune. Richard Branson's story begins in Surrey, England. From the very start, life was not easy for him. He suffered from dyslexia, a condition that made reading and writing extremely difficult. In school, teachers labeled him as slow, and many of his classmates doubted that he would achieve much in life. But hidden beneath those struggles was something far greater: creativity, imagination, and a burning desire to prove everyone wrong. As a teenager, Branson had a dream of doing something different. At just 16 years old, he dropped out of school and launched a student magazine called Student. The idea was bold: a magazine created by students for students. Richard poured his heart into it, interviewing celebrities and political leaders, trying to make a name for himself. But financially, the magazine struggled. Advertising money was hard to secure, and soon the project was in trouble. Most people would have stopped there, but not Richard Branson. Instead, he looked at his failure as an opportunity to pivot. Around this time, he noticed that records were being sold at very high prices in retail shops. Branson had an idea: why not sell them cheaper by mail order? And just like that, he launched a small business called Virgin Mail Order Records. The name Virgin symbolized that he and his team were brand new to business. Orders started coming in, and for the first time, Branson felt the taste of real success. But success didn't last long. Postal strikes, delays, and cash flow problems hit the business hard. Once again, Branson faced the possibility of failure. Still, he refused to quit. Instead, he doubled down and decided to open a physical record store in London. That gamble worked. The store became popular, and soon Branson expanded by creating his very own music label, Virgin Records. This was a turning point in his life. Virgin Records signed controversial but popular bands like the Sex Pistols and later international stars like the Rolling Stones. Branson's label grew rapidly, and Virgin became one of the most recognizable names in music. For a while, it seemed like everything was finally working. But as Branson's empire grew, so did the risks. He ventured into new businesses: airlines, mobile phones, and even cola. Some ideas took off, others crashed hard. His biggest test came when he launched Virgin Atlantic Airlines. At first, no one believed a small entrepreneur could compete with giants like British Airways. Branson invested everything he had, even mortgaging his home, to keep Virgin Atlantic alive. Then came his breaking point. British Airways launched a dirty campaign to destroy Virgin Atlantic. Branson's airline struggled with delays, financial troubles, and lawsuits. There came a moment when it looked like he would lose everything he had worked for. Imagine being in his shoes: your competitors attacking, your finances collapsing, your dreams hanging by a thread. Most people would have walked away, but Richard Branson didn't quit. He fought back with persistence, creativity, and optimism. Virgin Atlantic survived, and not only that, it thrived. His ability to turn failure into fuel became his greatest strength. From there, Branson continued to push boundaries. He expanded into hundreds of businesses under the Virgin brand: trains, finance, health, mobile, and even space travel through Virgin Galactic. Not all of them succeeded. In fact, many failed. But for Branson, failure was never the end. It was feedback, a lesson, a stepping stone to something greater. Today, Richard Branson is not just a billionaire. He's one of the most adventurous business leaders in the world, known for his bold ideas and fearless attitude. The lesson from his life? Richard Branson's story proves that failure is not the opposite of success, but the foundation of it. No matter how many rejections or setbacks you face, persistence can turn failure into fortune. So, the next time you face failure, remember this: if Richard Branson could turn his setbacks into a global empire, then maybe your failures are just the beginning of your success story too.